talking about Cinder by Marissa Meyer. And so, what are your thoughts on Cinder? How did everybody like it? And was this a reread or the first time people read it? For the comments. Yeah, I love this one. I've read it several times. Okay, so it looks like Devin is trying to install her thing so she can join the invite. And I'm trying to figure out a way that I can see the comments and um, other people talking. So right now I'm just kind of watching a delayed version of my video uh, so I can see people's comments. But I'll just start rambling, I guess. It's just the whole point of this until other people join me. And I love Cinderella retellings so much. But this is one of my favorite Cinderella retellings because it doesn't feel, oh yay, someone's coming. It doesn't feel just like a Cinderella retelling. It feels like its own thing, which I thought was really cool. Okay, so looks like, yeah, I felt like this story didn't even have to be a retelling because there were so many, what's that called? Unique things about it that it could almost just be its own story without even being a retelling, which is one thing that I feel like is true for this entire series, is that the retellings are really fun, but it's such a unique story that it could just be its own thing. Hold on, I'm seeing more comments. There's more comments below. No, okay. What else? What else did I say? I actually filmed. Oh, you're here.
Hi. Can you hear me too?
See, I can get your microphone.
This is going
Yes,
great.
I can hear you now. Okay,
this is
the, yes.
Okay. Okay, good.
Clearly a professional environment here.
Is it just us, or is someone else supposed to be coming?
Right now, it's just us.
Okay. Yeah, I had to I think my internet browser didn't support whatever plugin you needed to do a Hangout, so I had to shut down my computer, install Google Chrome, and then do a bunch of other fun stuff. And there should have been a test run or something for that.
We really should have. This is terrible. I feel terrible to anyone who's been sitting here.
Sitting and watching for like 45 minutes.
Sitting and watching me flop around on my computer.
I looked on my phone and it was just you holding up the book.
Yeah. This is how I respond to pressure.
Oh man. So, I don't know. I've never done something like this before. So I don't really know how this goes.
I think we just talk about the book.
Makes it easy enough.
Yeah. Let's look at the questions and see if anyone asked anything interesting.
Okay. Is there... Well, there's 5 people watching.
I know. I'm surprised.
I think it's us in the other tabs, and then Cindy, Odd Little Monsters, and Fandom and Books.
Yes. Feels better than I was expecting.
Yeah, me too. So I'm supposed to send Victoria the link I used. I don't have Victoria's email, so that makes it a little hard. If Victoria's watching, you should check your spam, because that's where I found mine.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Yeah. I was like, you sent it twice. I can't find it anywhere. Okay.
So is this your first time reading Cinder?
Yeah, I got it when I went to Florida, I think last year or 2 years ago. So it's like I pretty much bought it just because I like the cover, and and so I heard so much about it that I was like, well, might as well. Like it seemed good, and I was glad that we picked it because it was one of those ones that I'm like, I'm gonna read it, I'm gonna read it, and then I just put it off for a year.
Yeah, when I first got on BookTube, which was about last May or June, this is one of the books that I kept seeing everyone talk about
Yeah.
all the time. So I was like, I have to read this. It says Cinderella, but it was sci-fi, and I like fantasy more than sci-fi. So I was like, I don't know. And then I
Was
loved
this
it.
like was this a reread for you?
Yeah, I read it back in the fall, like last September, I think.
Okay, so it's been about a year.
Yeah.
That's not bad. I liked it. Like I'm surprised how much I liked it. I mean, everyone goes on about it, but they went on about like other books that I wasn't too crazy about.
Yeah. Yeah, this
So
one definitely lived up to the hype.
yeah, and I actually went out and got Scarlet, and I'm hoping to read that like next or after September's book of the month.
In Scarlet, we meet Captain Thorne, who is awesome. I
You
love
say
him
that
so
like I
much.
should know who Captain Thorne is. I have no idea who Captain Thorne
Really,
is.
when I watched the Rip It or Ship It book tag before this, before I read the book, I kept hearing like Captain Thorne, Prince Kai, and I had to know who these people were.
So that's why you read the book initially. That's
Yeah,
always why you should read the
everyone was
book.
like, Cinder! And I was like, what is this?
I'm surprised how much I liked Kai though. Like I didn't think I would because I thought it would just be like a generic romantic lead of any YA novel.
Yeah,
I was surprised.
I know. I actually fan casted him as an actor who was in the show Dance Academy because he's like Asian.
I
I'm like,
never.
he's perfect. He's beautiful.
That's true. That's true.
And he dances. Not Kai, but that.
But he should be graceful like a dancer because he's like regal and a prince. So that was good. Yeah, I liked it overall. Like I found a lot of similarities between it and the original like Cinderella retelling,
Yeah.
more than I thought I would. Which, like, I really did not think that I would see a lot of it. Even her going to the ball in the orange car, I was like, it's like the pumpkin,
I know, it's so cute.
the pumpkin taking her to the ball. Okay. So I should send the link on Twitter.
I just sent it on Twitter. So hopefully,
Okay.
that works.
Okay.
Sorry, Victoria. We're being exclusive.
It's just us going on like, oh, Prince Guy.
And she's like, I'm stuck.
So Cindy said, what was everyone's first impression? Oh,
Is this working? Am I in now?
we can't see you, but we can hear
Can't
you.
see you, we can hear you.
Okay. I don't know why. Oh, wait.
Or I think you just. Oh, there you are.
I see you.
It's all good?
Yeah.
Matt, move the camera away from me.
The camera's on.
Move the camera away from me.
It's. Okay. I can't see anything. This is so laggy. Oh my god.
Yeah, it takes a second for it to do its
Okay.
magic.
Okay. I'm gonna just shut down everything on my computer.
Oh.
This is weird.
I think this takes priority over every link that you have open. Like,
Yeah.
it's like I need all of the internet that you have to sustain myself.
I know.
Stop.
I think your camera was disabled, maybe.
Is it good?
Yeah.
Okay, so we can start. We're good.
Okay,
Sorry.
that's fine.
These poor people have been watching for an hour.
I know.
I was watching because I didn't think I'd get in, so I'm like, oh yeah, I can just watch them. Whatever. Great. Okay, so I liked the book too. It was a read for me. I read it like, I don't know, a few years ago, whenever it came out. It was one of my first books that I like read after like getting into booktube. So
Yeah, I feel like it's a very pressured book as soon as you get on booktube. Everyone's like, you have to read the Lunar Chronicles. They're so great.
I know. I actually met Marissa Meyer not too long ago, and she was so nice.
Yeah.
We talked about Sailor Moon. Apparently, Cinder is inspired by the live-action Sailor Jupiter.
Oh my god.
I can see the Sailor Moon influences. Like it's based
Yeah.
on Luna, so yeah.
I was chastised at work for not knowing what Sailor Moon is.
Oh no.
I feel like I might be too young, like I just missed it.
Oh. I feel like I'm too young too, but it's such a classic, and I was really into manga as a teenager. I wanted to be a manga artist, so I knew
Nope.
what it was. I just never read it.
I don't think I'm the oldest here, but like I was in like 4th grade and it was on TV and I used to watch it and I like learned how to draw because I spent like all summer watching it and drawing from it. So yeah, when I was younger, I was a huge Sailor Moon fan. Probably not the most appropriate thing for like a 5-year-old or whatever, because I remember watching it like all through my childhood. But yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Also, she's Princess Celine, and it turns out that someone in Sailor Moon is Princess Celine.
Oh yeah.
I'd like to just know how you got to talking about Sailor Moon with Marissa Meyer. How did you make that transition?
Oh, she mentioned it in her discussion thing that she was doing, and I had no idea what I wanted to say to her because I just wanted to meet her. I didn't actually have anything profound to say, so
Yeah.
I literally was just like, "Here's Sailor Moon keychain." I'm like, I like Sailor Jupiter too.
See, I never, like, if I meet people I admire, I have no idea what to say to them. I met Team Starkid in July, and I was just like, can you send my poster?
I don't think I've ever gone to like a book signing or met an author. Another thing about it, like I remember in elementary school authors came, but I've never like gone to the bookstore to like see them. I should do that. I should get on that.
You're a booktuber.
Yeah, exactly.
I think I traveled 2 hours to see Marissa Meyer, and then like 1 hour by metro to meet Rochelle Mead. And both times it was really fun. I brought my sister with me.
That's sweet, though. Is she like a big reader?
Yeah, we have pretty similar reading tastes actually. She will read pretty much anything I recommend.
Oh,
Yeah, but
that's
she
nice.
lives across the country for half the year. So.
I throw books at everyone I meet, but I don't think anyone ever reads them. I should
Oh,
probably
no.
stop throwing them. Maybe that would help, but
Maybe the physical assault doesn't help. I did the same thing as soon as I finished Cinder. I walked up to my mother. I'm like, read this right now. And she's like, nah. I'm like, give it back then. You don't appreciate
I
it.
had that same issue. Everyone, I'm like, please read this, but like, I don't want to give you my copy, so get your own and read it.
Go pay $29.
Read it. Or go to a library. You don't have to buy it.
That's true.
That's fair. Yeah.
I went to the library and then I bought it later because I loved it.
I think I did the same because I know this is a pretty like new copy. I don't think I've actually. Well, I've read this one this month, but like the first time I read it, I didn't read it.
Is it hardcover too?
Finally got glasses.
Go away.
Wait, I just want to tell you something.
No, go away.
Kubo on the 2 Strings. Really good movie. Okay, so the book.
The book was good. I think I gave it 5 out of 5 stars.
Yeah, me too.
I have no clue what I gave it. I could check on Goodreads, but I don't know. Probably like a 4 or a 3. No, I think I gave it a 4 or 5, but yeah. I think this is my favorite out of the series because I have finished the series by now.
I like Cress and Winter.
I've only read Cinder, so I guess it's my favorite.
I think I also like Cress a lot too. Cress was good.
Cress is my favorite character. I love her.
Yeah, she's super cute. I don't know. I kind of like Cinder and Kai. I think are up there too, which is probably why I like this the best.
Yeah.
I also feel like this was like written slightly different than the other ones, because this one like it took a lot longer with like it was a little slower than the other ones, and it definitely like built up like the scenery and the background and the world a bit more, because the other ones had so much more going on, and this one like was able to take its time.
Yeah, this one, it was really funny. I think I read in the back of it that it was partially inspired by the TV show Firefly by Joss
That's cool.
Whedon. And I could really see that because I loved Firefly. I was like, yes, I see the connection.
Yeah, you could definitely, like, through even the first chapter, like, you got a really clear picture as to what the market looked like and this whole world. And it was good. It was really good. But August was like a weirdly busy month for me, so on Wednesday, I'm so glad we didn't do it on Wednesday because I didn't finish it until like 11:30 on Wednesday night. I like marathon 200 pages. I'm like, everyone, leave me alone.
It's not a long book, so it's not bad.
Yeah, first time I read it, I think I read it in one day because I was just like,
Oh yes. Same.
I also really love Aiko so much, the robot.
I remember like actually putting my hand up to my mouth when he found out that Andrew disassembled Aiko. I was like, no!
I was freaking out. I was like, I'm so angry. I was like, oh my God.
It was like when I read Catching Fire for the first time, and like mild spoilers for Catching Fire. I thought PETA died at the end. I didn't know he just got captured. Like, I thought he died, and I threw the book across the room.
Oh no.
I was like, it can't be dead. That can't be how it ends. He has a whole other book left.
Aiko was definitely the most like relatable character because she's like all the reader. She's a fangirl.
I like how all the people in the kingdom are fangirls of Prince Kai, though.
It's very realistic. I love that Cinder's the only one who doesn't care, and that's why he likes her.
Cinder is the Belle Swan of this book.
Let's see if anyone has asked questions that we've been ignoring.
No, you can actually take the chat screen and like put it on top. Like you can remove it from the page. So I'm like looking at both.
How?
Yeah. Can you use cat?
I'm so confused.
Can you get rid of the cat? Open the door, let him free.
Let him breathe.
Oh, pop-out chat.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
see.
Then you can put him on the same screen and you can watch both.
Oh my goodness, you're a genius.
Okay, so just looking at the chat even, I agree with Cindy, like, the ending was like, eh. Like, I did,
Oh, quiet.
I know.
Yeah, I don't know.
it sets up Scarlet, but it was, nah.
I like the ending where she was like getting free from jail and like the cliffhanger or like the big reveal that she was the princess. Like that was whatever. You knew that really early on.
You knew that, like, the first
Yeah.
time.
Like the first time it was mentioned, you're like, oh, I wonder if it's the main character.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
I wrote a note in my original version. Well, not in my original version, which was the library version, but in a post-it note, I was like, I wonder if she's Cinder. She's so mean.
Yeah, but like, I really liked, like, I guess it was like the climax of it where she was like meeting the queen and like the big like ball thing. Like, I thought that was pretty interesting.
Oh yeah.
when she, like, oh, like, at the end?
Mm-hmm.
That was
Like-
good.
Yeah, when she saw the queen's face.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And when the queen
Original
saw
face.
her, which is like the important one. Oh yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, even I convinced my friend to read it while I was reading it, and she was texting me about it, saying she had theories about it. And I said, "What are your theories?" And she said, "Dr. Erland is lunar, and Cinder is the princess that died in the fire." It's like,
Yeah.
you're not wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They kind of like bang those facts into you pretty early, so.
If she wasn't, you would have been slightly disappointed.
Yeah.
Well, you could be like wondering what the point is. Like, I don't know. Yeah.
Or the girl, at first I thought it's either her or the girl with all the long hair who shows up in the video.
Yeah. Who was she?
I
Like, where
kind
did
of
she?
suspected who she was from the beginning too. So.
Oh yeah, I thought so. Oh, all the long hair, and because I already knew Crest, like the book was coming out at that point, so I'm
Yeah.
like,
I wonder.
Oh wait. Oh, that was Crest.
Whoops. Spoiler alert.
It's not like a huge spoiler.
I feel like it's something that you would be able to get, like, if you know that Crest is Rapunzel. Because
Yeah.
that's the fairy tale it is, right? So, like, they
Yeah.
tried to describe it as Rapunzel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry for the constant sniffling. I think I'm getting sick.
Oh no.
Yeah. And I worked the next, like, 7 days in a row, like 9-hour shifts.
That's horrible.
Yeah, but it's money.
I wanted more details, one of the comments. I wanted more details about how ugly the queen is. I did too. Because, like, it just had
Yeah.
scarring, and I
You
wanted
get
to know more of what happened.
You get it in Winter. They literally describe her in detail, what she actually looks like.
Even, I read what is it, the novella, which is, like, just her thing. I wasn't a fan of that one. That was the only thing in the series I wasn't a fan of. But, like, that's when it's her story, and you get to actually know more of her character.
Okay.
But
Yeah, I
So
did.
there's,
But still, like, you don't get to know this information until the end of the book, and
Yeah.
or in the end of the series.
I know. I think they were saving it as like, how ugly is she?
Yeah, in Farius. That's the one.
Yeah. I didn't read Ferris because I didn't like the queen. And I didn't want to be sympathetic to her.
You're not missing out on Farius. You're not going to be sympathetic to her. Like, that's not, yeah. I don't know. It was kind of fun to read, but it was, like, something I hated reading at the same time. Like, because it was all her point of view, and you're like, I don't want to be in this woman's head.
It's true.
oh my god. Let's see. I don't think there's anything on Twitter that people are asking right now, unless you
No,
guys have gotten
I don't
something
think-
directly.
Okay.
I don't think we're that popular.
Yeah.
It's fine.
So, we kind of talked about characters, right? Anything else you want to mention about characters? How did you guys like Kai?
I don't know. I don't know if you were watching. We talked about Kai, and we were both like, "Yeah, he's great."
I paused it for a minute because my sister went in to bring the cat into my room. But
Okay.
yeah, sorry.
No. I really like Peony though. I
I
did
know.
not want her to die.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That was heartbreaking. And it was annoying because she was literally there and then she died. And I was just like, shove it down her throat.
She was there and then she died.
Like, she got there in time.
It was
Yeah.
really sad, but it kind of also, like, gave the character memento to, like, I don't know, do things. I felt it was, like, necessary for her character development, but yeah, it was super sad.
Yeah, because if she didn't die, then she wouldn't have gone off on her adventure. She would have stayed because she had someone who loved her. She had to get rid of everyone she loves. Classic YA.
That's like a Disney move too, like just kill off any family.
Yep.
Yeah, honestly, it was just, like, the normal, like, typical hero journey. Someone important to the character has to die, and it can't be the robot. Well, the robot kind of did, right?
Yeah, that was
when-
like
Yeah.
Yeah, but...
Someone said, how did you guys like Dr. Erland?
I liked him in the first book.
Yeah, he was really entertaining.
I thought he was kind of cool, and he was like the new mentor figure for her, right? So
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was
But,
the
like-
fairy godmother.
basically, yeah.
He
How do you
seemed,
guys?
he seemed
Sorry?
like really shady though. Like
Yeah.
Yeah,
would
for
just be like,
sure.
surprise, you're the winner! Surprise, you're the princess! Like he's keeping so much information from her. How can she travel to Africa to hang out with this guy now?
Oh yeah, that seemed really weird. Oh yeah, just meet me in Africa. It'll all be fine. Just get to, like, oh okay. Just, yeah, I'll escape from the jail, travel these continents, and get to Africa. That's no problem at all.
I want to know how she gets to Africa. Like her car is wrapped around a tree.
To be continued.
If she didn't run into Thorn, like, how would it even be a thing?
That's true.
How does it end? How does it end? She didn't run into Thorn at the end of this, right? Because I'm not spoiling more, am I?
No, that's the beginning of Scarlet. You're
Oh.
spoiling.
I'm sorry.
We're horrible.
Maybe we should do series books for these.
I haven't read next month, so I can't spoil it.
Same. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
excited for that one. I've been
That's-
wanting to read it.
That's a monster of a book, though. It's huge.
How big
Yeah.
is it?
It's like, it's just tall.
Oh, okay.
Did they mention where in Africa she was supposed to go?
I don't think so.
That's all. Because I know in the later books she mentions where, but I don't know. But even still, like, it's mentioned she has to go to the Sahara Desert, but that's still like freaking huge.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just find one little old man in the Sahara Desert.
Earlier in the comments, it was also said someone didn't agree with how Kai handled the queen. What do you think about that? Because I totally agree. All of his movements, with like, they seem silly. Like,
He was passive aggressive.
Later on, he handles things so poorly that I get so
right? Like,
frustrated.
I'm like, how do you expect this to work out?
Yeah.
Like, it's so silly.
Either way, your country is going to be enslaved or going to war, so why are you being nice to this woman?
Yeah. Yeah.
The next book is An Ember in the Ashes, right?
Oh yeah, I
Like,
think that's what won. I don't know if the poll is still going on, but like last I saw, Amber in the Ashes was winning by quite a bit.
Yeah, it definitely won. Because the poll ended on the 30th.
Okay, I voted for that one, so I'm good.
I had both of the books for the top two, so I was good either way.
I was going to read them all anyways. At some point.
It's just moving them up your TBR pile.
Yeah, pretty much. Because I'm going to hopefully meet all of the authors in November. So
Oh wow, cool.
I'm going to Y'all Fest, so I have to read a lot of books. A lot of people are going to be there.
It's like homework.
But fun.
Yeah.
Speed reading.
By November you can do it. That's not an issue.
You can always spark notes it.
I want to read a lot of series.
I have so many books I want to like read just by the end of the year, but I feel like that's a normal booktube, like just a normal reader problem. So
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel a lot ever since like joining BookTube and like that community, I feel more pressure to read all the time. Like if I'm not reading, I feel like I should be.
Booktube pressure. People have made videos about this, actually.
I don't necessarily feel pressured. It's just like there's so many books and I want to read them all so I can talk. Well, I guess that is pressure. That's exactly what pressure is. I just want them all read.
I know, I want to know what happens.
Because my bookshelf is like right over here, so I'm just like casually looking at like, I have the Savage Song and Queen of Shadows just staring at me, and they've been staring at me all month.
You haven't read Queen of Shadows?
Oh,
I love that one.
I haven't read Throne of Glass though, just to be fair. So you're okay not reading Queen of Shadows yet. Don't really see.
Okay,
But
so-
I had.
we talked about character. Next would be like plot. Like usually it's characters, plot, and world ruling. The only ever like live show I've ever watched is like Felicia Day's live show. I used to watch hers a lot, and that's what they would go through. So I figured like
All right. I
So we
mostly
can-
just. I
Sorry.
watched like the Book Explosion live show, so
I don't think I've seen this.
All
I always
over
mean
the
to, but I
place.
never get to the book.
that's true. I always watch them months late with the
That's the thing, because you can't always read the book that they're reading and then the book that we're reading and then your own books just because you want to.
Yeah.
I thought it was a decent plot though, just the idea that it's a post-apocalyptic, not post-apocalyptic, but just I don't even know how to describe it. Yeah, futuristic world. Thought it was interesting.
Yeah, I really liked everything that happened.
Because I already mentioned that this one was a little slower than the other ones, and I really liked that. I liked it a lot. I liked being in the world longer. You got to know more about New Beijing a bit more, and that was cool. I don't know. I like slower books, so yeah.
I like fast paced, which is probably why I love
Yeah.
winter so much. Because everything is insane.
I think it's because I like character-driven books, and this one, I think it was slightly more, it was definitely plot-driven, but, it was focused so much on Cinder, while,
Yeah.
the other books suddenly had, 4, 6, 8 characters in it, right? So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did like one of the comments, sorry. Did you enjoy the fact that Cinder was a cyborg? That was the reason I read this book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Oh, what did you guys think of the cyborg prejudice?
I thought that was a little weird, because I was thinking about if it would have happened in our society, because it's
Yeah.
basically these people are amputees, so we're just discriminating against disabled, which there's definitely already an ableism thing, but I don't think our society could ever get to you have a second chance on life now. Be our slave for that second chance. That seems so extreme. That's basically what happened here.
Yeah.
And not only are they slaves, they get put up for these ridiculous testing because they don't want to risk human life, but they're still part human.
Yeah.
Still risking human life.
I know. That's the one thing I think is a little bit ridiculous in this story,
Yeah, I went a
but
bit too far. And
it really had to be for the plot of it, but it's
for
just
sure, for sure.
that doesn't seem like what actually happened.
I also have a question. Do you guys see this book as a sci-fi? Because it's usually described as a sci-fi, but it does not feel like a sci-fi to me. A lot of the elements, especially with the Lunar's magic, that's all fantasy. And, it's kind of just a dystopian fantasy type book. Even though there is spaceships in it, it does seem more because none of the science is really explained, and science is not the focus on it. It's magic. It's the Lunar's power and taking over the revolution. Yeah.
I think they tried to make it sci-fi by saying the Lunars aren't magic.
Yeah.
It's bioelectricity or biochemicals.
Yeah, but it was definitely
It's magic.
split between sci-fi and fantasy for me, which is fine.
Yeah.
Because I like fantasy more anyway, so it worked out.
There was another comment, how much a robot will make a human not human, which is very true. How much cyborg do you have to be put up for these tests and be a slave?
And I guess that is what it goes in here, but I don't know, does it really go into that in the book? If someone just loses a single limb, and are they considered a cyborg and are lower in life? Or is it like Cinder, where it's so much of her body? I don't know if they go into this how much, but it's she's 2 limbs and she has the whole brain thing, right? Because it's in her head.
Yeah, there was the guy in the beginning that Erland was testing on, and he didn't have very much. He had I forget how much limbs, but he had a family, so Erland was just going to let him go. Because they're oh, he's not that much cyborg. He was only 30% or something. I forget. But he wasn't that cyborg-y.
But I think Dr. Erland was just being a good person by not sacrificing him, because this guy had a family, he had kids, and it wasn't true testing. He knew he couldn't really find a cure.
There were totally other reasons for him letting him go that I think they're spoily, so I can't say.
Well, thank you.
I forget then.
Yeah.
I'm what? Yeah.
Yeah, so One of the comments did bring up, like, they already have slave robots. They have the androids. Why
Yeah,
are
the androids.
cyborgs slaves now?
Yeah.
How did humans just become the top of the food chain? In
Well,
that
they built the robots, I'm assuming.
Yeah, well, like,
cyborgs could easily take out humans.
but that's a normal, like, science fiction-ish thing. Like, they build androids to do our dirty work and to be servants, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they built the androids to do all the things that, like, are
Mhm.
considered lesser jobs, I guess.
Yeah. But then Aiko's also, like, is she, like, she's not really like all the other ones, I assume.
No, she has a
Aiko has-
defective personality chip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, what makes her endearing.
Yeah, well, because her, Cinder's adopted dad was, like, a genius, and I think he's the one who made Aiko's personality chip, I believe. And so that's why she's different and, like, a person, essentially.
For one of our next books, we need to make sure none of us have read it, because I'm just like, shit, I don't want to spoil anything. I feel so bad.
Well, I don't know how bad you have to feel because I think there's only one person watching this.
But you haven't read it, so yeah.
Yeah, we don't want
No,
to-
there's two. We have Fandom and Books and Cindy, so. Aiko, yeah, thank God for that personality chip. Aiko was so great.
I love her.
I like how she just came in.
Her graphic novel.
I like how she just came into the garage with like the pearls on. She's like, I'm gonna go meet Prince Kai and dance with him in the ball.
So cute.
What about the setting? Like, it seemed creative enough, but
It was New Beijing, and it was supposed to be in Beijing, and nothing really, like, I did expect it to be, like, a little more, like, Asian influence, and besides, like, the names in the book, there wasn't a whole lot there. But at the same time, I don't know if Melissa Meyer ever has been to Beijing, like, no. And it's supposed to be, like, a melting pot between, like, a bunch of Asian cultures in there. So, like,
yeah.
I guess it's okay. Yeah. It's not like I know much about Beijing either, so.
It seems like it was just, I don't know, it seemed very Big Hero 6 to build a new Beijing on top of the old Beijing.
Like San Francisco.
Yeah.
You just watched that. All these robots with feelings.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know, one of the comments, I don't know what the Little Mermaid Retelling show is. I don't know what that means.
Oh, that was in Stars Above. It was called The Little Android, and it was
Oh,
so sad.
yeah. Oh, I haven't read that. Okay.
Yeah, I was expecting more Disney vibes, and it was more like the original fairy tale.
Uh,
Which made me sad. I was so disappointed. I was so excited for it.
Fandom and Books is like driving this discussion because I'm answering all the questions. How did you despise Cinder's mother? How did you feel about Cinder's mother? Because at first I was like, I understand what she's feeling. The father like brought this child into the house, and you're like, why is she here? But then after Peony died, she just went like full on crazy.
Yeah,
And-
make her take off her foot.
That was so mean. She's like, it's mine now. You'll get along without it.
Yeah, like that's not. And the father did say to take care of this girl, so maybe like take care of this girl because it's a freaking child.
She's a person.
Yeah, she seemed very like typical YA evil stepmother in the beginning,
Yeah,
but then by
for
the end
sure.
you're like, I want her to die more than Queen Lavana.
In the beginning, I felt like it would be like a little more gray, her character, but at the end I was like, no, she's full on like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing redeeming.
yeah.
I don't know, I really hated her. I hated Pearl too. Like from the
Yeah,
first moment you met
awful.
Pearl,
Yeah.
she just seemed like a terrible person.
hmm
Did either of you read Glitches, the short story in the back?
No, I didn't.
No, I don't think.
It's
I don't
when,
think it-
I don't know if it's in the hardback.
Oh yeah, because like my copy doesn't have that.
Yeah, it's the story of when Cinder first comes as when she's 11 years old, and
Oh,
she
wow.
first meets Peony, Aiko, and Pearl, and it was pretty cute. Her first meeting of Aiko is pretty adorable.
That's so sad.
Up to backwards, probably. It's also in Stars Above.
I think I have that in mind, but I can't really tell.
It's in the back.
Of the paperback or the hardcover?
It's not the hardcover, yeah.
Okay. The paperback, I don't know if your paperback does this, but like my cover ends a little bit before the
Oh
pages
god,
do.
I hate that.
I am not been able
to. I put in the show. No.
I hate it so much.
I did too. I am happy Cinder had one good sister, but then
And then she died.
yeah.
Like she has no one now.
She has Aiko.
No, not at the moment.
Oh.
Go with me in the book.
Yeah.
She has 3 books. Yeah. Oh yeah. The stepmother stays evil through the whole books and just gets worse, and it's so horrible.
She lives through all 4 books.
She's not important until like she's not in any of the books.
Oh,
Until
okay.
she's in one of the books and she's just as evil.
I think she shows up in each book for like 5
Does
seconds.
she? Like,
Yeah.
but not like interacting with Cinder. She's like, oh, you see how her life is for a minute, maybe. Yeah.
I think
Just
it's
like
a
to check in, like,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I'm just remembering her in Cress, and yeah, okay. I don't know about Scarlet, but yeah.
yeah, she just, ugh. I had a note on my phone about this, and then I just lost it.
Oh, that's interesting. Cindy said she had to die to give Cinder a push. I was hoping Luna's had magic to bring her back. That's interesting. It would have been cool if they could bring her back.
She had the antidote in her hand, and if anything else, yeah. The antidote didn't work. I didn't think she should go back, and it's like a typical hero story that like to give that push, and yeah.
Yeah.
Especially since I read Writer's Digest and they're always analyzing plots. They always have the hero story article.
I've done classes on that, so I'm like, yep, I know all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you a writer too?
Sorry?
Are you a writer?
No, maybe like I want to, but no. It's not what I pursued in school.
Okay.
But
Yeah, I'm a writer, so I'm always reading things about how to construct a story.
oh, I'm in storytelling, so I do like that type of thing. So like it is a part of what I do, but like not like novel writing. So.
Okay.
Yeah, that's true, Cindy. Like Peony was like Cinder's only family, and that's why she is the one to die because she needed that push, and it's the only family, so she could go and. Oh yeah, 'cause she like escaped. Or tried to at the ball, right? So.
Yeah.
It was like she could leave. She didn't have to worry about Peony.
After Peony died, though, like, why did Cinder still fall at Adri's feet for weeks? Like, was it just because of the car? Like, is that why she just felt like obeyed her orders?
I think she had to finish fixing the car, and then she found out about the message about Celine, and she had to warn Kai that he was going to be essentially murdered after he marries the queen.
She might have been like a little afraid to leave because this is all she's ever known, and just to leave that completely and not know where to go.
When Prince Kai's dad died from the plague, how did you feel, and Prince Kai's reaction to it? It just seemed like it was. Yeah, it was like predictable.
He was sad, and then concerned that he was then going to have to be emperor at, what is he, 19, 18?
Yeah. I think that was Kai's push, though, like Peony dying, Cinder's push. That was Kai's push to, like, actually do some stuff and get on with his life.
Even if his choices aren't great.
Um, I don't know, Kai's reaction, it didn't seem like, he seemed sad about his dad dying, but he didn't seem like as sad as he realistically should have been.
I think it was more like he realized what it meant. Like, as sad as he was, it means like he's suddenly under all this pressure and has to run, and like that probably like trumped everything because suddenly he's just super busy and he has to run like this country. He doesn't really know what to do.
You can't really sobbing during the special international meeting.
Yeah.
And then the fact that like 5 minutes after he died, the Queen was like, "Yeah, I'm coming for a visit."
And yeah, those deaths is what they bonded over. It's because, yeah.
Bonding for trauma.
What else?
Um,
I'm sure Kai grieved like in private,
yeah.
but like he couldn't really grieve publicly, right? Like it wouldn't be coming, especially with like Luna watching, and he knew he was being watched by the moon, so
by the moon.
the people on the
moon. I just found the book overall like very predictable. Like you could guess exactly how the story was going to go. And I don't know if it's that way for the other books, but it was for this.
It was for this one, I feel like, because it was Cinderella.
Even in the other ones.
Stuff. I didn't expect what happened in Cress because I didn't know the Rapunzel story.
I knew the Rapunzel story because I did like read it. Like I read the actual, not Tangled, the actual Rapunzel story. But yeah, because I remember after watching Cress, I saw someone reviewing Cress, and they were like, "It was nothing like Tangled," and I'm like, "No, it's Rapunzel, not Tangled." Like, of course, it's not like Tangled. Yeah, I remember that bugging me. But yeah, the story is different. So I did know that. But Cress was kind of weird. Where I don't know if I should say this, but like it finished. It finished like the story of Rapunzel, and then it just like the last 100 pages was like, okay, now let's get on to like the actual story and like let's do the revolution, and like there was like this weird cut where it's like, okay, we're done with the retelling, now for the actual story, and I found that really weird.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
I did, because I was like, oh, okay, it's Rapunzel's done now, and then they just yeah.
See, what about Scarlet though? Because like I think the Little Red Riding Hood story is more well known than something like Rapunzel, or because there's been so many versions of Rapunzel at this point.
Yeah, Little Red Riding Hood. It's interesting because it's so short, and then Scarlet is like pretty long. So
Scarlet's huge. I'm terrified.
Yeah.
It was really fast to go.
It was. I think it was my least favorite though because Scarlet is my least favorite of the girls. And Wolf is my least favorite of the guys. So overall, that was slower, but it did have all of the really cute Cinder and Thorn moments.
Just because Scarlet is so different than Cinder, like the way it's written, a lot of it is very different, and so that was kind of off-putting. But because I remember not liking, I didn't like Scarlet the first, then I got into it, and I was like, okay, this is okay. But yeah, I think Scarlet, I don't know. I like Cinder the best.
That also seems like normalcy for any series like Second Book Syndrome, where they always suck.
Yeah. Except for there are a couple second books that I really like.
I liked the second book in The Hunger Games.
Well, I think that
might have been it.
I think Scarlet was like solid as a second book and as a retelling. It's just because the writing was different and a lot of it was like a completely different story than this that like did make it feel different. One of the questions that we got before, did you guys feel that the language gave weight to the storytelling? What do you think about the language in the book? Because personally, I did find some stuff weird, and going through it, it always felt like I was reading a book. It always felt like fiction because of like some of the phrasing that was done.
Yeah.
Like some of it just didn't feel natural, and some of it like I'm reading a fiction book all the way. It was still great and enjoyable, but it was like I was never like out of my head into the story.
Yeah. It did bug me. Like Cindy said. Cindy said she now says, "Oh my stars." That bugged me so much for some reason that they just.
I thought it was
That-
cute.
But I can never imagine anyone besides like Snow White going like, "Oh my stars."
I can kind of see it.
Different culture. They have different phrases.
Yeah, and I can see it like that because I read Mistborn recently, and they always say instead of like saying "Oh my God," they say like "Oh my whoever the High Ruler is," like whatever his name is. That's
Yeah.
who like they swear an oath to. So I feel like that's kind of what it is in this, where they say "Oh my stars" to being like instead of like an "Oh my God" thing because like they have magic powers. Like that's just kind of what it is. It's like to space instead of
Yeah.
which is kind of neat. Which is kind of neat. Like I think so, but it does sound very like fairy tale-esque. Oh my stars. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like in the Grisha trilogy, they say saints all the time.
Yeah.
They do
Which
that in
is-
a lot of books, actually.
hmm But I know, like, in Mistborn, it was like called out, and that's why I noticed it because it was like, hey, maybe we should like stop saying, like, calling him or yeah. So that's the only reason like I have picked up on it. I'm like, oh yeah, and I think it's just an easy way to add some culture to the book. Although
Yeah.
I don't know if it like really helped this one because there wasn't any other mention of like any religious aspects or yeah.
Yeah. And with the setting too, it just didn't. It felt like an alien planet, but it somehow is supposed to be. Is it supposed to be on Earth, or is it like a different planet? 'Cause it is Earth, just like futuristic. Yeah.
New Aging is supposed to be like after the Fourth World War.
Yeah.
Yeah, it felt like old and familiar. But it felt old, like especially when she was like a mechanic in the little shop. Like, it felt old. Like even
Yeah.
if it was like with technology, it didn't really have a future aspect to it. It was like a basic like, you go to a
It could
shop,
be
it's busy
anywhere.
and crowded, it's dirty. It could be anywhere. There was nothing that said like, yeah, this is in Beijing. The only like culture I think I mentioned that, and someone fandom and books, like the name thing is the only like Chinese thing they had, and a lot of the other culture was taken from Japan, which was a little weird, like kind of getting the Asian mixed up, but yeah.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was like an actual culture. Like they kept the culture and everything until they said the names.
Mm-hmm.
And even they don't call them like their cultural names. They call them like Cinder and Kai and Audrey.
There is some times where like they put Cinder's their last name first.
Lynn Cinder.
Like Lynn
yeah.
Cinder, and that's what it is, and they do that for the other ones. But it is weird that like their names is like Peony and stuff like that instead of having a name that would like fit that culture. Like Kai has one, I guess, but
Kaito.
Kind of.
like that's like kind of yeah.
Yeah, that's I think the Japanese though. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
And they ate dumplings.
Yeah. It kind of felt like the writer was just like, oh, this is Asian, let's just shove it in here and hope it works, and just trying to put my culture in
on the
with them.
table.
But I'm no expert on China versus Japan, so I can't.
Well, even if, because it's supposed to be like all of Asia, right? So there's a lot of different cultures they could have mixed in there.
That's true. It's New Beijing. So.
And it generally just felt like a European, like the market was just like a random European market. There was sweet buns, but like that's or whatever the bakery was. There was like Asian buns, and I pictured those, but otherwise, yeah.
I really didn't like the lady from the bakery either.
Yeah, she was mean.
Like when she died, it was like, alright.
I know. I was like, well.
Well, that's over.
Oh yeah, when they say "buy the angel" in the moral instruments.
Yeah.
Buy the angel. I actually like that. I find it entertaining.
But see, all of those, like the one you mentioned, the Grisha trilogy, it all goes with religion because they have a religion in that. This one didn't have that. This one was missing that part of culture, which, yeah.
That's
Like,
true.
I can see it might have helped make it a more cohesive story and, like, make it more realistic. But at the same time, like, I don't know if it really, like, it didn't really, religion wouldn't have, like, come into play unless there was a super religious part of the world. I don't know.
Yeah, because you really need religion on top of everything else that was in this book. Would have been so long.
Yeah. This book, I feel like it was like an appropriate length. Like there was never really any parts like in most books where they get dry spells for a couple chapters, but this one was actually pretty good for pacing.
Yeah, I thought so.
How did you picture Cinder? Did you see her as Asian?
I saw her as a blonde.
No, 'cause I think she's lunar, so she wouldn't.
She is supposed to be half Asian. I know that, and she's supposed to like dark hair and
I thought
like
she had
tan skin.
brown hair.
I pictured her as Asian, and then it said that she was like from Europe, so I was like, okay, I just like letting this like hair bit, and I was like, I don't know, but she's like, according to Melissa Meyer, she's supposed to be half Asian.
Okay.
Um,
I thought she had. I don't know if she had like straight hair or.
I always imagined her as like straight hair.
Yeah.
Because it's something this series does try to do throughout is like be kind of multicultural.
Mm-hmm.
Like all the characters are of different races mostly.
yeah.
Because the guys all are. Like Kai's obviously Asian, and all the guys are supposed to be except Thorin.
Yeah, Thorn's blonde with blue eyes. And then Wolf.
He's supposed to be Middle Eastern, actually. Because I did not.
Eyes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I remember looking it up because I was going to draw the characters, and I remember looking it up, and according to Melissa Meyer, Wolf is supposed to be Middle Eastern looking.
Oh, I didn't get that.
Yeah, I didn't either until it was like said. I did not get that at all.
I don't think it was in the book.
Like it said he was tan, but that means nothing.
Fandom in books is really driving this. Said in chapter 24, Prince Gaia, Cinder, imagine there was a cure, but finding it would cost you everything. It would completely ruin your life. What would you do?
See, this is where I'm not sure if it's spoily. Like, what do they mention in this book? About like him, because I don't want to spoil anything.
About Prince Kai and like his decision. And Queen
Lavana, yeah.
They just mentioned that she desperately wants to become Empress, and her plan after she marries Kai is to kill him.
Okay, yeah, they did the whole marriage thing. I was thinking, because I always thought like it seemed really, really dumb for him to agree to the marriage. Yeah, you get the antidote, but you're giving your country to this lady.
Yeah.
Like,
what's the point in the antidote if she's going to kill anyone?
Like she's going to kill everyone anyway.
So either way, your country is kind of screwed.
Yeah.
I'm just confused as to how Dr. Erland and his like team of brilliant scientists could not replicate the serum, especially since he's lunar. Like, shouldn't he kind of be able to figure that out?
Read on. That's.
I feel like I'm just saying really stupid things because I've only read the first book, and you all know the answers to this.
Yeah. No, but like that's a good question that you'll have in mind when reading the rest of the series, right? So.
Yeah.
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 He was shocked. I'd be shocked too. That like, especially the Luna part that you find out the girl's an alien.
Oh, did we lose Vanessa?
Oh. I don't know how to
bring her back.
I don't either because she was in charge.
Oh no. Maybe she'll get the link that she sent you for Twitter.
Oh, that's true. Hopefully she can do that. It might have been like the internet cut out or something.
Yeah, that's true. Thank God it's already after 11.
I need to go soon. This is getting later than I thought. Next time, at least next month, we'll start on time and it'll be great. Maybe even a bit earlier. I don't know what everyone else's time zone is, but... Yeah.
Well,
I guess you're at 11, so I'm at 11 too, so we have the same time zone.
We're both in Eastern. What are your thoughts on Kai's reaction when he discovered that Cinder's both a cyborg and a lunar? And how do you think he would react if she told him earlier?
He was surprised. He might have like overdone it a bit. Like, it's 4 a.m. there. Oh wow. Okay, we'll get a better time.
Oh no, I'm sorry. That's actually probably my fault. I had to work until 8:30.
We couldn't do it yesterday because I had to work. So. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm back. Sorry.
Did your internet just cut out?
No, it's there was a notification that said like my computer's memory is low, and it was weird because I have 300 gigabytes, so I don't know what they're talking about.
I do think we should wrap this up because it is getting late. I'm sorry.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, I agree.
Were there any last questions? Because I had to close out the questions tab.
We were just talking about Kai's reaction to Cinder being a cyborg.
Okay.
Yeah. I think he would have, like, I don't think it would have gone well if she just decided to be like, hey, by the way, I'm a cyborg. I don't think he would have been, he would not have reacted very well.
I still think it was kind of weird for him to, like, be that freaked out by it. Yeah, disgusted, and then to cradle her, like, disembodied limb, like, as she was carried away, almost dead.
Yeah.
That just seemed a little over the top.
Interesting.
That part kind of freaked me out, was that when she's being, like, carried away to jail, he's, like, carrying her leg.
He didn't know how to digest it. That was basically it, because it was all of his shock and, like, such a public display, too, right? So maybe in private it would have been a bit better.
Yeah, we probably should wrap this up.
Yeah, for sure. It was definitely important for him to, like her first. Because otherwise, like, he wouldn't have touched the foot otherwise. Like, the fact that he actually picked it up, yeah. And he, yeah. Okay. So, quick final thoughts on the book.
I loved it. It was adorable.
The whole series was great. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's a solid start, and it leaves enough wiggle room for a sequel. And, like, a decent sequel.
I'm gonna go read The Stars Above, because it's the only thing I haven't read yet.
It had some cute stories. I liked the last story was the wedding. So I won't tell you who gets married.
Oh yeah, I didn't even know that was a thing. I saw a video today where someone was like, 2 characters get married. It's so cute, and I was like, oh, that's I don't know who it is, so I don't want to. The only thing I have left to be spoiled on, even though I don't want spoilers that I say during this. I'm sorry. Is there going to be a movie of this? This book would make a pretty good movie, I think.
I heard on Twitter that it was going to be animated by DreamWorks.
Oh, that's cool. I think this a movie. I don't know, movie or TV show.
Yeah.
I think it'd be hard to do a movie about it. Even while I was reading, I was thinking about this.
Well,
like, to see her
animated, so that's pretty good.
That would be better, but, like, the whole thing about the book is that you're seeing through her eyes, and, like, when the orange light goes off when someone's lying, and, like, her retina scanners.
They could just have it on the screen, showing lying.
Yeah, well, they like do that. Like, you show the character's eyes, and then you can show like what they're seeing, so the viewer knows what they're singing. And having that at certain points would be useful.
Or it could flash in her eye.
Yeah, like I think they could totally be able to do it.
Hollywood these days, they can do anything.
I've got to go. I'm sorry. You guys can answer the final question if you want. If you want to talk about the cast, but I need to leave.
Okay.
What's the final question I had to...
Oh, someone asked if you would have a cast for everyone. You can do that.
For everyone.
I don't. I've never thought of it at all.
Except for Kai.
Except for Kai. I don't know.
Cast would be anyone adorable.
Okay. We can think about it and put it in the Goodreads group. How about that?
Maybe the girl
everyone watching, put it in the Goodreads group. Who's your cast?
Pretty Little Myers Emily.
What's her name? Shay Mitchell. People have been saying her for Cinder.
And that's good. She's good.
That's apparently who Melissa Meyer pictures too. So.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. Okay, I do gotta go though.
It's been fun.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Thanks for joining.
We'll see you next month.
Bye.
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 All right, thank you so much for watching, everyone, and have a great night. Bye.